Hello guys, in this session I'm going to show you on how to configure your own virtualized environment or virtual environment for the penetration testing exercises or labs. Okay, so let me show you the notes on this one. So the lab title is Network and Infrastructure Penetration Testing. And for this lab, we have two objectives. The first one is the setting up virtual environment for penetration testing lab. Objective number two is the network and infrastructure penetration testing example, where I will give you some example or an example of utilizing the virtual environment that you have just created. In this lab, I'll be explaining to you on how to configure GNS3 and VirtualBox. Yeah. Okay, so the steps are: first, we will configure GNS3 and VirtualBox. Second, we will test our network topology for the pen test. And then the last one, we will perform a simple network and infrastructure pen test within our environment. For more references, you can refer to this GNS3. Okay, so this is GNS3. This is where you can actually download the latest GNS3. GNS3 is actually a tool that will allow network professional to build, a virtualized network. Yeah. And then for more info about the labs that you could actually do, you can visit this GNS vault. You can see a lot of labs specifically designed for switching and routing, because most of the time we use the GNS3 for the purpose of studying for the Cisco and Juniper certifications related to routing and switching. Yeah. And we also need the VirtualBox, which could be found on this link. So this is VirtualBox. It's free virtualization that can be used for practice, for study, and for your certification. Okay, now let's do this one by one. Step one, we will configure GNS3 and VirtualBox. So let me show you. So first, you need to turn on your Oracle VirtualBox Manager. In this example, I have already loaded all of my virtual machines, which I have previously created and prepared for the lab, for the purpose of the tutorial. And then the second one, this is the pre-configured network topology that will be used for our penetration testing. Okay, and we will need to do some checking on this one. Let's go to Edit, Preferences, and this is where you add all of your VirtualBox virtual machines. Like for example, I have bat store and some servers. Okay, as VR1, Web1, Web2, Web3, Metasploitable, of course, Kali. And then this is where you configure if you would like to actually utilize the GNS3 VM, which could be very useful if you want to run, different type of operating systems on your GNS3. And you could also configure your router by adding new image, yeah, of the actual router. In this example, I'm actually using Cisco 36000, yeah, which I have downloaded somewhere. Anyway, to find the correct image, you could actually go to this GNS3 lab, for example, using, let's say, or selecting this RIP and select, let's say, RIP beginner, and you could actually see from here what iOS image you need. For example, this one. Copy this one, open Google and search for it. Okay, now from the first, from the result, the first result actually shows me something about the image. You can just click on this one, and this is where you can actually find a lot of just click OK, a lot of images, and press Control F to search for the image, and you can just click to download the image. Okay, so you need to have this actual Cisco iOS image. Yeah, the image could be quite old already, but still they're still applicable for the lab. Okay, so once we have added everything, so again let me repeat. So we need the iOS routers. You can add any of this, like Cisco 2600, Cisco 2500, and so on, depending on your needs. And then load up your VirtualBox VM template that will be used on your lab. You can easily add the devices by clicking this browse router. You can easily add, for example, here I've already added the Cisco 3600, 3600, and you can just drag and drop this to the area where you want to draw your topology. You could also add your VM, your virtual machines, like for example batch store, DNS server. Anyway, you can see the list of the applicable or available appliances, as well as the PC or the host. And you can also configure the connection here between the host by selecting add link. Okay, when you configure add link, it will automatically select the correct link for your devices and your hosts. Okay, so in this example, I have sample network topology for penetration testing, which I will do the testing later on. Okay, so next we'll go for the second one. We'll do the testing on the network topology for the pen test by utilizing GNS3. Okay, so in this example, I'll be opening my topology, and I will do the testing by starting the router. Right click the router, for example GKT, and then select start. Yeah, so basically you can just select all of the devices as well as the hosts to let it start. So for example, to start Kali, in this example, I could just right click on Kali and select start, and notice that test Kali machine will start. Yeah, let me see, I have a problem with this. Okay, let me fix this problem before we can actually do the testing. Hang on for a while. Hi guys, I'm back. I have just resolved the problem. So it happens because of the VirtualBox extension pack that was not properly installed. So to fix that, all you need to do is just right click on the virtual machine that did not correctly started. Yeah, let me show you. Go to settings, go to the USB. Yeah, make sure that you disable this. Yeah, if it is required. Yeah, and then after that you can minimize and right click on, let's say, Kali here, and then select start. Kali should start correctly. Alright, so see, Kali is started correctly. Let it run. Now, basically, you can also start other router. In this example, I'll start Manila router. Start, and then I will start other machines as well. So you need make sure that all machines have started correctly without any error. And on this side, yeah, on this side, on the right side or on the right pane, you can see the topology summary. The topology summary should actually show you all the machines running. Yeah, in this example, then web 1, web 2, and web 3 have not been correctly or started yet. So I'll start this machine. Okay. So let other machine runs. As for your information, I also have tested this network topology by utilizing VMware Workstation 15 Pro, but I have a problem. Every time I started the host machine or the VM, it turns into operating system cannot be loaded. That's why I switched to using Oracle VirtualBox. Now, as you can see here, all machine has been started correctly. So batch store, web 1, web 2, web 3, Jakarta router, Metasploitable, Manila router, and Kali Linux, as well as all of the switches. Okay. Now, to test the configuration, what you can do is you can just go to, let's say, Kali, log on to Kali as usual, root, tor, TOR, tor. You could also minimize this while checking with Jakarta router. You can just right click Jakarta router and then I'll select console. You can double click to maximize. As you can see here, Jakarta router has been started correctly. I could also check with Manila router where it's running correctly. Yep, so you can see Jakarta router and Manila router. Yeah, just boot up and Let's see. Let me check the configuration by typing show run. All right, and notice that some port has been or have been set with the IP addresses, and you could actually do the checking by trying to pinging or by trying to ping let's say Kali, for example. In this case, my Kali Linux. Let me see, what is the IP address? So I got this ETH0 with no IP address yet. Let me set the IP address. So based on the topology design, my IP is supposed to be in this network 10.10.1.0. So I'll set my Kali with one IP. Let's say 252.4. I'll set the gateway to my router, my Jakarta router, which is, let's say, route add default gateway 10.10.1.1. I can just try to ping. Okay, so I received the reply from my router, and from the router you could also check whether Jakarta router here in this example has the routing propagated. Yeah, let me show IP route. Notice that I got network addresses from different router, from different networks, as well as Manila. Let me just check Manila router. Yep, okay, everything seems to be okay. I'll minimize this, and from here I could do the simple testing on the connection, as well as, you know, you could check the whether the IP addresses of our target systems are okay or can be pinged. Let me just check. Let me do the simple ping sweep. Let's say you can actually run wireshark to see the IP addresses or any activities, any traffic activities on our network. Let's just start with wireshark. By running wireshark, you could actually see what IP address or addresses, or even, like, you know, the activities within your network. Okay, looks like 10 only. Yeah, so it's running an EIGRP protocol. Yeah, I mean, my routers are running EIGRP protocol, routing protocol. Let me see if I can ping or perhaps do the net discovery to scan the entire network, like 1N2168 dot something dot something, or 131.10 dot something dot something, and even other networks beyond the routers. Yeah. So just an example, I could actually do the testing on or by pinging this IP. I know the IP address since I already set up the IP address. So while running this, you could also launch another window and try to ping, for example, ping 131.107.1.101. Yeah, so this is actually my then web 1, which has the IP address of 131. So if you want to do the ping sweep using nmap, you can actually do that by typing nmap, let's say -n -sn. You can specify the range, like for example 10.10.1.0/24, 192.168.1.0/24, 131.107.1.24, and let's say 172.16.1.0/24. Yeah. So you can actually scan different networks at the same time by doing this by using the minus or dash -n that will actually do the ping sweep. Yeah. Or of course you could actually check your whether the hosts are alive by utilizing this net discover. Yeah. Okay, then I could try to also ping let's say here bat store. I remember that the bat store it was set to have the IP address of 172.16.1.222 if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, ping 172.16.1.222. Okay, something wrong here. Yeah. Did I set the IP address? Or I think I need to check on my bat store. Oh yeah, I think I haven't set anything yet. Let's say, let me set something. Let's say here 172.16.1.222 net mask 255.255.555.0. Let me check if I can actually ping to this IP from my Kali. It's gonna take a while, or while waiting for this, I could also test by pinging my other machine, like for example Metasploitable. I could actually set this by using 192.168.1. Let's say 253 or something. I'll need to log on. Yeah, let me set the IP address. It hasn't this ETH0 interface has not been configured yet, so let me configure this. Sudo apt config ETH0. Based on the diagram, I should set this to 192.168 or something. Say 253. /24. Let me see if I can ping my Kali from here. something wrong here. Oh yeah, need to set the gateway. Let me see, route at default gateway 192.168.1.1. Sorry. Okay, and then let me ping. Yes, I can ping now. So I could also ping. Now I got some results by using the ping sweep. Yeah. Let me just check again. Ping, let's say 192.168.1. Let's say 253 that we have just set up on my exploitable. Yeah, it was able to ping. And let me check with the bat store. Yeah, I also forgot to set up the gateway. .172.16.1.1. Oh, sorry, it was wrongly typed. Let me try to ping from here to my Kali. 10.1 10.10.1.252. Okay, now I could try to, it should be able to, my Kali should be able to ping the 172.16.1.222. okay, then we can repeat the process of finding this by typing the net discover, and then let me repeat the command nmap and see what we got. So we found 252, which is our machine. Yeah, it takes a while to actually do the scanning. So anyway, if you know the IP address of your targets, what you can do next is to do the normal, port scanning, vulnerability scanning, and of course you can proceed with the exploitation based on the vulnerabilities being found. Okay, so let me show you an example of using the nmap to do port scanning. Let's say -n here is very useful if you want to skip the domain name resolution, and you can just type the range of IP addresses or the network range, like for example 0/24. I will scan also 131.107.1.0/24. I will also scan 172.16.1.0/24, and lastly 192.168.1.0/24. so this will allow you to scan 4 networks or 4 network range at the same time. And meanwhile, you could also check your wireshark, for the activities. Okay, so wireshark is very useful if you want to get more information about what is actually happening in the background. So you can minimize all of this. And when you do the scanning, notice that because you're actually using the actual Cisco IOS, it is actually possible for you to scan for the gateway. Let me just show you an example of scanning the gateway. Let's say my gateway is 10, so I'll do the scanning like nmap -n, and you can specify the IP address of the gateway. Of course, you can try to find out any possible gateways by typing or by doing the ping sweep. Yeah, so in this example, because I already know my gateway, I can just scan directly like 10.10.1.1. Oops, something wrong here. Let me see what's actually happened. Okay, let me see, where's my gateway? Show interfaces. Okay, let me check. Okay, I forgot where's my gateway. Let me check my diagram. So it's Ethernet 0. Oh, sorry. So it's supposed to be fast Ethernet 0/1. So I can just type show interfaces fast Ethernet 0/1. Looks like the IP address was not set correctly. Let me check. Fast Ethernet 0/1. Let me confirm. Yeah, correct. Then you can set the IP 10.10.1.1. Oops, sorry, 255.255.255.0. Sorry, it's supposed to be no switch port. You can set the IP address and no shutdown. All right, copy, run, start. And let me try to ping my Kali from here. Okay, bingo. And you can try to go back to Kali and try to do the nmap. Should work. See, now we got this port 23 open, which means yeah, it's a telnet port open. You can also do the scanning, like for example, to find more information about the services or ports running. You can just use the -A, see what we can get from this scanning. Yeah. So the good thing with this, while waiting for the scanning process to finish, the good thing with the GNS3 is that you could actually draw your own network topology diagram to understand the complete network topology, while you also can design your own penetration testing lab as you wish. Okay. And because you are also running Cisco iOS, I mean the real Cisco iOS, you could in fact look at the actual version of the Cisco iOS. Let me see. You see, we got, see, this is actually our result. It shows port 23 open, telnet is running on Cisco router, and it also shows me the MAC address of my Cisco router, which is actually this one, Jakarta. Yeah, sorry, it's supposed to be Jakarta here. Yeah, and later on you can actually do, you know, like router exploitation by running other tools. Like for example, you can do you know, you can try the actual telnet. Yeah, since you already know that the telnet is open, so I will open up new window and do the telnet, like telnet 10.10.1.1, and you can try to guess the password, like for example Cisco. See, bingo. And you can try to, let's say, type enable. Yeah, no password set. For example, let me set the password for Jakarta. Let's say config terminal, and you can set line console 0 password of Cisco login, and you can also set password, like for example encryption IS, and then you can also I forget the command to set up the password. Anyway, let me try again. Oh yeah, you can set the enable password. Let me see, enable password. Let's see, Cisco, and type exit, copy, run, start, and let's try to connect to this one. Yeah, enable, and it prompts me with a password. Right? Of course, you can try to guess default password, or try default password. If you want to find out the default password, what you can do is you can just type, let's say in Google, just type or just Google it, default passwords. Yeah, you should actually see, see this one, default router password. Yeah, you can easily find default password. Yeah, let's just select this one. Most common password would be something like Cisco admin or something. Yeah, or let's say just type Cisco default passwords. Oh, we can easily see this one, right? Okay, so let's see Cisco default password. Yeah, so you can see default password Cisco, mostly Cisco, and then the rest would be admin, and so on. Okay, so it's pretty nice that you could actually do this kind of thing in a virtual environment, yeah, without actually buying the routers and switches. And let's have a look at our, so it actually shows me the Cisco router iOS, see this one, and also give you some idea about what type of Cisco router or the operating system of the Cisco routers being found. Okay, and then you could proceed with, let's say, Nmap scanning, vulnerability scanning. Yeah, so we were able to actually identify a lot of ports open. Yeah, what you can do next is you could actually launch the Nmap script. Yeah, like for example nmap -n dash, you can put like a dash script vuln that will call or execute a bunch of vulnerability testing script, and you can specify the, let's say, any of the IP that you have found, like for example 131.107.1.101. yeah, or you can of course put the range of IP addresses. Yeah, in this example, to speed up the process, I will just scan one. I will just use one example, say 101. and see what we can get from this one. This so do you know that Nmap can also be used as the vulnerability scanner by utilizing the scripts, yeah, the I would say the Nmap script, yeah. So while waiting for the process, the scanning process, let's review the. So basically, since you're actually playing with the real Cisco iOS, you can do a lot of commands here. Like for example, just type help or question mark. Yeah, you can type, let's say, show run. Yeah, you can type, let's say, show IP route. You can even type, let's say, show, let's say, interfaces summary. Notice that we have a lot of fast Ethernet interfaces, as well as serial interfaces and VLAN. So bunch of things you can actually do. You can actually use this virtual environment with GNS3 equipped with VirtualBox for Cisco certification like CCNA, CCNP, and then you can also utilize the virtual environment here for your penetration testing, ethical hacking, basic security and so on. And of course, you can design your own network topology to have more understanding about what you're trying to achieve, yeah. And you can easily add bunch of devices. You can just go to edit preferences, and you can easily add, like for example, iOS and Linux, and QEMU, VMS, and so on. Okay, so still running. Yeah, so it's gonna take a while to actually finish this thing, but anyway, let me just review this result, the previous result. Yeah, so the previous result actually shows me a lot of things like ports open on 10.10.1.1, which is my gateway, yeah. And then other machines like 101, I found 101, I found this one, I found 250, I found 254, I found another gateway which might be referring to the same router. I also found 222 and another gateway, and I found another one, another IP 253. Yeah, so basically based on this reconnaissance information, you could proceed with your port scanning, vulnerability scanning, and even exploitation. Yeah, so I'll get back to you on the next video on how to actually do the exploitation on this kind of environment. So basically it's quite simple, yeah. So once you have set up your virtual environment, you could play around with many things. You can add extra machines on your network. You could refer to, let's say, vulnhub.com and download any CTF types of virtual machines challenges. Yeah, so a lot of challenges here for the CTF or for the hacking and penetration testing. You can download Pinky Palace, Moonraker. Yeah, so bunch of things you can actually add into your network topology that you have already created earlier. Okay. Um, let me see. Oh, still running. So anyway, that's just a very simple session tutorial about um, how to actually set up virtual environment for your penetration testing lab. And we did very simple network infrastructure penetration testing, yeah, by utilizing Nmap, NetDiscover. I might want to actually give you more, information on performing the network infrastructure pen tests, but it's gonna be quite long. So perhaps I will create a different video or videos to explain and to provide you with more, deeper or in-depth explanation on how to actually perform a network and infrastructure pen tests. Yeah. So what I can only do by today or in this session is just to give you an idea, the introduction about how you could actually set up your own virtual environment for your uh, ethical hacking, networking, and many type of hands-on labs. Yeah, and I think that's all for now. If I have more time, I will go in depth on the actual network and infrastructure penetration testing by utilizing the same tool, GNS3 and VirtualBox. Yeah. I hope that this session is gonna be very useful for you uh, who would like to, pursue um, your own self-study or even, achieving certification in terms of, networking, cybersecurity, and other type of IT related certification. That's all for now, guys. Apologize for any inconvenience in the video. I hope that this video would actually help you on doing a lot of things while waiting. I still feel very curious about the result. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. How long will it take? So I'll just leave it like that. Yeah. And again, for more information on getting the vulnerable host or vulnerable virtual machines, you could actually refer to this website, vulnhub.com, where you can actually download a bunch of CTF style of virtual machines. All right, guys, so that's all for today. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.